the hammer of northern and central Europe, northern Italy, and the Germanic tribes, Charlemagne accomplished a unification of Europe unseen since the integration of Gallia into the Roman Republic and the Roman expansions towards the rivers Rhine and Danube. We find ourselves unable to place enough esteem on the man who was called Charles Martel, named after his grandfather, but we know this one as Charlemagne, which means Charles the Great, or Carolus Magnus. His was an era of religious, economic, and social progress that restored to many the institutional protections that had been lost during the waning and collapse of the western portion of the Roman Empire. We know this period today as the Carolingian Renaissance, which places it alongside the Italian Renaissance in importance and scale. One of the crowning achievements of Charlemagne was his famous coronation by the Holy Father Pope Leo III on Christmas Day in the year 800 AD. The chronicler Alcuin tells us that during the Mass, while Charlemagne was kneeling in prayer, the Holy Father and his assistants approached the king and placed a splendid crown on Charlemagne's head while proclaiming him Emperor of the Romans. Charlemagne was said to be shocked and surprised by what happened, even though people present in St. Peter's said that everyone could see the crown sitting on the altar at the start of the Mass, and that the crown fit Charlemagne's head perfectly, which would be a curious statistical anomaly. It would likely be more accurate to describe the event as a planned agreement by the Holy Father and Charlemagne. A reasonable guess, although we're not certain because the sources do differ, but a reasonable guess is that Charlemagne agreed to protect the freedoms of the clergy, that they might be able to engage in their missions fully, and to defending the property rights of the Pope, while the Pope would agree to legitimize the claim of Charlemagne over much of the Roman Empire that the Empress in the East had claim to. The shift in the telling of the story over time is likely due to Charlemagne being displeased about some of the implications of the coronation. Charlemagne had unintentionally set a precedent that the Pope in Rome had the power to legitimize or delegitimize the rulers of Europe, later expressed as the sun and moon doctrines or the two swords doctrines. I'm planning to make a video about these doctrines at a later date, so please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for that.